or you can call me Gage. Sensi Wrestling Enthusiast. That's CWE. That's what it stands for. This podcast is sponsored by WG and Advanced G, your official energy drink of your podcasters, streamers, and content creators like myself. Uh, use CWE99 for the 10% off discount code. And be sure to check out brainbusterscheese.com. You have to scroll a couple times, but you'll see my logo. And yeah, buy some merch. I got some stickers, hats, hoodies, shirts. Be sure to check it out. And yeah, I got a special guest on, Chris Idol. I'm gonna bring him in. How we doing, buddy?
Hello. How are you doing? I hope you're staying warm, man.
Yeah, are you getting caught in that winter's nasty stuff?
Yes, I am. I'm in Maryland, so they're projecting. Last I checked was about 17 inches.
Yeah,
So
ours is like a foot of snow. I'm like, holy crap.
yeah, it's been I think they said it's been 10 years since we got more than 6 inches of snow. So everyone's been going crazy with the
Yeah,
preparation here.
I work retail and it's pretty crazy too.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah. I just thank God that I don't work at a supermarket like Walmart or Target or none of those supermarket stores
Oh
because
yeah.
they are going crazy right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen like TikToks and things. They're completely wiped out. You can't find anything.
Absolutely. I brought you on here to talk a little bit of wrestling. I know you are on the indie scene as well, so I want to talk about that as well. Um, so how old are you?
I just turned 32 on January 15th.
Okay, okay. How long have you been in the business for?
So my first professional match was in 2020. Uh Unfortunately in the middle of the pandemic, but we all got to start somewhere. My indie debut, it's kind of a funny story. So there's a promotion here in Maryland slash DC. It's called Fight.
Okay.
And they were doing a taping, and the referee that they had booked for that show was unable to make it. He had some kind of travel issues. He had done a show like the day before and he was having trouble getting down there. So they were trying to scramble and find somebody that could do it. And I was there because my friends were on the show. So I was just there supporting them, hanging out. And they were like, "Hey, could you do this?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course, I can do it. I've watched enough wrestling. I know how to referee. I know what you're
For
supposed to
sure.
do."
Oh, so they stuck you
So
as a referee first?
yes, they stuck
Okay.
me as a referee impromptu. And like I said, this was a taping. They were doing like a batch of I think like 3 months worth of content. So I ended up refereeing 14 matches that day by
Mm.
myself, back to back to back to back. So that
So
was
uh,
crazy, a crazy experience.
that's awesome. I've been in the business before, and I've been a referee before. Um, how was that experience like? Did they tell you like what they're going to do for the finish and everything?
So yeah, it's not uncommon for wrestlers like their way into the business is when they're training is to be referee, to either work
Okay.
referee or to be security for the show. That's usually the two foot in the door positions. When it comes to being a referee, uh, the protocol is you get the finish from the booker or the promoter, whichever one. Sometimes it's a different person, sometimes the same person.
For sure.
You get what the finish is, and then you get with the two wrestlers and you figure out, is there anything like specific that they want to do? Because sometimes the finish is just basically wrestler A is going to go over clean. So then you
Right.
talk to the performers and you go, okay, wrestler A, you're going over. So is there a specific way you want to do it? Is there like how do you talk to them, coordinate with them? Because sometimes it might just be, yeah, I'm just going to hit the guy with my finisher, 1, 2, 3, it's it. Sometimes there's more of a setup involved. So you just get with the guys, figure out what exactly they want to do for the finish. And
Right.
then pretty much from there, that's really all you need to know as a ref as far as the intricacies of the match. Or if there was a case of It wasn't the case on this show because I was the only ref that day. But if there's like a ref bump involved, then you would figure out, okay, well, how are we setting that up?
Right,
What are
right.
whatever other cues. Then when you're in there, you're keeping an eye on whoever it is that's giving you the time cues so that you know, all right, they've got 2 minutes left, 1 minute left, and making sure that you convey it to the participants in the match without making it obvious that you're
Right.
doing so. Yeah,
Absolutely.
so it was a fun experience. It was fun. It's definitely challenging, but like I said, I've been watching wrestling since I was 3 years old. Was the first time I watched.
Yep,
So
that's the same with
I
me.
and I pay attention to details.
Small
So I'm one
details,
of those
yeah.
people that if I watch something and I can analyze it and figure out what they're doing. I might not know the reasons for what they're doing, like the reason behind it, but I can tell what they're doing. So I
Right.
knew, okay, this is where I need to be to stay out the way. And so but it was fun. It's
For
one thing
sure.
to watch it, but it's another thing to actually do it. So that was my fun first day in the wrestling business.
As a fan, what was the match that got you into professional wrestling?
So that's an interesting question. So I got into it, funny enough, not by actually watching it first. It was playing video games.
Okay, okay,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
finding out that, hey, this thing that's in the video games, it comes on TV and you can watch it. So I would say the first match that I remember actually watching the story unfold, being excited for the match. The first one that really sticks with me, I would say, was The Rock versus Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 18.
Wow, yes.
So
Yes.
I had been watching before then, but this is my first like vivid memory of I remember the setup, the intricacies, the lead up, watching the match and watching it unfold. So I would say it's that one.
That's a great one, absolutely. Uh, Me being a '99 baby, mine was, like, the first match I recall, being, like, so in love with it was, Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, and Kurt Angle with a triple threat match.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and I just, fell in love with Ray, with the underdog story and with,
Hmm.
Eddie passing away, and you just wanted to root for him. So, yeah, that would be my match for sure,
That's a good one. That's a good one.
for sure. Now you say that you wrestled during the COVID era. I haven't had
Yeah.
a wrestler who wrestled during the COVID era. What was that experience like? I know when the WWE, they had the Thunderdome, you had, like, nobody, absolutely nobody, but on the indies, it has to be different.
It was very different. I'm gonna I'm gonna try to tell the story as carefully as I can without getting anyone in any trouble. But
Okay, okay.
there was it was a little bit of a shady business. Like a lot of indie promotions were they were just trying to keep their name alive, keep content rolling. So they were doing these ragtag shows without like proper permission,
Mm,
where
wow.
it's just kind of like, let's get a building, let's set up a ring. You did have to like provide proof that you were negative. You did have to show up with like a test, a COVID test that said
Of course.
you didn't have it. From like not an at home test, but like from an actual like clinic or doctor's office or something like that.
Yep.
So they tried to do it as safely as possible, but they weren't supposed to be running shows. They didn't have
No.
the clearance to run them. So it was very hush hush.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're right, like, you guys are still trying to make money through, like,
Yeah.
just the same with regular people, that works with regular day jobs. I mean, you guys were, I mean, doing the same thing. So, yeah, I don't blame y'all one bit, For sure. I mean, I would have done the same thing too.
Yeah, yeah. It was like I say, it was weird, and of course, so for me, it wasn't that weird wrestling without a crowd because surprise, surprise, I did some backyard wrestling.
Okay, okay. That's cool. How
So,
was that?
oh, some of the most fun I've ever had in my life.
For real? For real?
I know I'm not
Okay.
supposed to say that, but some of the most fun I've ever had in my life. I wouldn't be where I am right now if it wasn't for that time.
I
So
mean,
it's very
oh,
important in my personal development to get me to where I am today. Without that, I wouldn't be right. I wouldn't be right here talking to you if I
hell
didn't do it.
yeah. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Just like the Hardy Boys. I mean, they pretty much came from a backyard experience, you know?
Exactly.
So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Um who actually trained you, by the way?
So I up in Maryland, there's a man by the name of Sickened. He's a part of a stable called Riot City. They have a training school called the Riot City Compound. That's what it's called now. It didn't really have a name back in the day. It was just we're gonna go train with Sickened, but now it has an official name.
Okay.
So shout out to him. He trained me, all my stable mates, a lot of guys in the Maryland, DC area. We started there and we've branched off. So shout out to him.
For sure, for sure. And I would say you still do training for sure, like in-ring training?
So not as much just because I wrestle on a regular basis.
Okay.
Like if I anytime that there's something new that I want to try, that's when I'll go to training, work out the kinks, get the timing right.
For sure.
Or if I have like a long layoff, like I might take a break from like some bookings, and before I actually get back to it, I'll hop in a ring, just roll around, practice around with some of my buddies, just to shake off the rust.
For sure, for sure. What's the farthest you travel for a wrestling show?
Furthest I've traveled for a wrestling show is up to Boston, Massachusetts, which is about not a 9 hour drive from where I
Okay.
am. So that's the furthest I've traveled for a show. Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you ever came down to the South for a wrestling show, like Ohio?
I have not yet. Listen, if you know anybody looking for some new talent, definitely slide them my way. I definitely would like to wrestle in the South. I'd like to go out west, but nope, I've just pretty much been northeast bound
Okay. Okay.
for my career. But that's definitely something I want to do.
For
Venture
sure.
out west, go south, anywhere that'll have me, I'm willing to go.
For sure. For sure. Um, do you have a day job? I'm assuming yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay. Do you mind what do you do for your day job?
So I work for a print and signage company here in Maryland called Strategic Factory, and we are the primary signage and print partner for the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh wow, that's
And
super
yeah,
cool. Wow.
absolutely. And we recently started doing some marketing things for the Miami Dolphins.
Okay. Okay.
Um, we've also the Jacksonville Jaguars, as well
Wow.
as the Commanders, which is why I'm wearing this hoodie today.
Oh, that's cool. That's
So,
cool.
yep, and some other businesses that are in the local area, but those are like our big. The big one is the Baltimore Ravens. That's the one that we wear very proudly. Got a nice banner up there at the stadium.
That's so cool.
Um, and there I'm a production worker, which is just I do a little bit of everything. I help out in all the different departments wherever they need an extra set of hands. That's what I do. And
For
I've been
sure.
doing that for the last 4 years. And before that, I was a bread vendor for Nature's Own Bread
Okay.
Company.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I did that for 5 years. So yeah, that's the fun
Oh
stuff that
yeah.
I do when I don't get to get in the ring and slam people around.
Right, right, right,
So
for sure.
pretty
I
cool
feel it.
life.
Hell yeah. Um, your hometown. Do you have a favorite thing about it?
Let's see. Favorite thing about my hometown. Well, other than the crabs, because the crabs here in Baltimore are amazing. If you're ever in Baltimore, you got to get you a crab cake.
Okay,
Like
okay,
it's you have to. It's
okay,
the best. And once you have one here, anywhere else you go won't compare. I promise.
okay. So, gotta try a crab cake up in Baltimore when I go for sure.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Heck
And
yeah,
other than the crab cakes, I would say the people, because Baltimore is just it's one of those places that people from all over the country seem to come here. It's like a real central hub, so you just meet all kinds of interesting people from different lifestyles, and it's really cool. You run into someone and just talk to them. Everyone's
for
really
sure.
friendly too. I really like that too.
Hell yeah. Away from wrestling, do you have any hobbies or interests you like to do?
So, other than wrestling, I love to draw.
Okay,
Drawing is a nice stress reliever for me. It's something I've been doing since I was a kid. I don't sell it or anything like that. It's just I just do it for fun. So anytime I pop up with like a logo or a T-shirt or something, I did it myself,
okay,
designed it
cool,
myself.
for
So
sure.
that's a pretty cool hobby of mine that not a whole lot of people know about.
Right. Okay, cool. Can you tell us about your first match, singles or tag team?
Sure. So my first match was against a guy named Arthurun Armada at a fight. This was the second taping after the one where I refereed. We had a singles match. Um, and anytime you get in there with someone for the first time, you like to talk to them and see, what it is that they like to do and how what they like to do meshes with what you like to do stylistically.
For sure.
So this being my first match, I was really nervous because I was afraid of making him look bad.
Okay. Yep. That makes sense.
That was a big concern of mine, and he was very, very, very. He made it as easy of an experience as I could. Some people, when it comes to wrestling, like fresh out of wrestling school students, very, very new first match, they kind of they kind of groan a little bit about it, like, oh man, you gotta. But he was gun ho. Like if he felt some type of way about it, he never let me see it. He was
Okay.
nothing but nice, very helpful, very accommodating. I couldn't have asked for a better first opponent. He made sure I was really comfortable in there, and I
That's
had a lot
good.
of fun. Had a lot of
Awesome.
fun wrestling him. Shout out to him. I haven't seen him in a while, so I hope he's doing well.
Awesome. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Um, I know you have to improvise in a match. Can you tell us a story where you had to improvise,
Hmm.
or how many times you had to improvise during a match?
So it improvising is definitely a part of the match. Most of the time, the improvisation is when it comes to maybe interacting with the crowd,
Yeah,
um, or just doing something in the moment funny that you think will enhance your character. Um, it could be anything. Like the jaw jacking with the crowd is like the first thing that I can think of. That's like the easiest improv. Another time it'll come into play that hopefully the crowd doesn't notice is if something goes wrong in the match, like somebody misses their cue or someone slips or anything that doesn't go according to the plan, knowing how to cover it up and make it look like it was meant to happen.
for
Like
sure.
I remember I was in a match and the guy I was wrestling, he was going to do a tornado DDT on me. and like a run. He was going to have me run up on the ropes, do a tornado DDT. And I remember he slipped.
Oh
He
shit.
slipped when he was on there, and I saw him slip. So I was able to catch him, hold him, and I put him on the turnbuckle. I hit him. Then I turned to the crowd to do a taunt because I was the heel in the match. Turned around to do a taunt so that he could collect himself, gather himself, turned around, and then he was able to do the DDT.
Oh wow.
And it looked like, watching it back, you wouldn't know that it almost went really badly. Luckily, I had enough awareness to see, oh man, this guy slipped, and to recover and make it sort of part of the match. So improving during the match when something goes wrong is something that I would say is a strong suit of mine. I'm really good at improv. The planned stuff, sometimes not so much, but
Okay.
when something goes wrong, I'm a pretty good fixer.
Okay.
Okay, oh, this has gone wrong. Let's make that work. I know how to make that work. We could fill in that gap.
For sure.
Yeah.
About your character, are you a babyface or are you a heel?
I am a heel. I'm a heel
Oh,
currently. I've been a heel since I joined my stablemates in Pure Ignorance. Shout out to Chaz Evans, Prince Machiavelli, and my little brother Noah.
okay.
Working heel it's fun, man. It's
Oh,
fun
okay.
because a lot of freedom comes with being a heel. You're
Okay. So you
not you get to play around more when
yeah,
you're a heel. You don't have to, like, when things go wrong, it's easier to cover. Like if you're a heel and you slip and you fall, you can make it work because the
you
people
can
are
make
gonna
it work.
laugh at you, and they're supposed to
Right.
laugh at you because they don't like you. They're heel, and you can get up and you can be like, "Oh, you know what? Oh, screw you guys!" Blah 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 blah, and
Right,
make it
right.
work. Whereas a baby face, if you slip and fall, it can be very embarrassing, and
Oh, for sure. For
And
sure.
I always say it's so much easier in life to make somebody not like you than it is to get them to like you.
I
And
know. And
if you think about it in life, if
yeah,
somebody walks up to you and slaps you across the face, you automatically don't like that guy.
right,
But in order to
right.
like someone, it takes work. It takes a lot of work. Baby, being a baby face is tough. It
Yeah,
is
because
tough.
you gotta make the crowd to like you, and
Yeah.
like I could see. I think I would be a much better at a heel, because I just don't care what people think of me, and
Hmm.
yeah, just you try to get people to hate you as a heel, but when the baby face, it's very hard to get their reaction towards you. You know,
Yeah. It's very hard.
did you
But
start it? Sorry,
if you oh no, go ahead. I'm
I
sorry.
said, did you start your career as a baby face?
I did start my career as a babyface. So
Okay,
even though I'm a heel currently, and I do think that being a heel is a lot easier, I do find fun in the challenge of being a babyface because
right,
it is
right,
a challenge. It's not easy. It's something you have to work towards, and every match is a learning experience. So
for
every
sure.
time you go out there, you try to get a little better at working the crowd, getting the crowd involved, and not being so campy and cheesy with it, but finding out how to make it more natural. Like it's more of a creative process, I think,
For
to
sure.
be a great baby face, as opposed to being a heel where it's really like there's an art to it, but it's really easy. If you go up to a little kid and you tell him he sucks, the kid's gonna get mad and he's gonna go, "No, you suck," and
Right.
boo, and it's fun, jaw jack with the kids. It really is. It
Right.
really is because they're
For
great
sure.
participants. But to
Yeah, I
get
mean,
those
kids
same
are probably
kids
the
to
best
love
fans
you
out
is,
there. Yeah.
yeah. Kids are the best. They are
Yeah,
the
for
best
sure.
because they're
They're so
active.
into it.
They want to be into it. They want to
Yeah,
do it. They want to
absolutely.
boo the bad guys. They want to cheer the baby faces. They're the best. I love working the crowd with a bunch of kids in it. I love
For
it. It's
sure.
the best.
Absolutely. Um, so if you could only be one, would you rather be great in the ring or on the mic?
Ooh, okay. I'm going to say if I had to pick, I would rather be great on the mic.
Okay.
And my reasoning for that is everyone that was great on the mic lives on forever. You remember all of those promos. You remember Austin 316. You remember to be the man, you got to beat the man. You remember Dusty's hard times. Those are the things that live on, that we see those promo packages over and over and over again. Hulk Hogan's What You Gonna Do, brother? You know, all of those things.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
To me, that's what lives on forever. Those promos, because it shows how strong those characters are.
For sure.
And to me, I would love that for myself. For people to look back and watch me on the mic doing my thing. And it's important to have great matches. It is. But those promos, they seem to live on a little more in infamy than some of the matches sometimes.
I'm about to say The Rock is like the promo king. Like,
absolutely. You love The Rock's promos. You can say all his catchphrases. You think of The Rock, you go, it doesn't matter, all of them.
Right.
And then you think about, man, he had that great match with Hulk Hogan and, in Stone Cold and his battles with Triple H. But it's almost like the matches kind of, in people's minds, they kind of come secondary. They remember those catchphrases, those promos first, and then they think about the matches.
Right.
So I would rather be a master of the mic.
Okay, for sure. What has been the most interesting or unusual experience you had in wrestling so far? I mean, it could be in backstage catering, with a fan.
I think the most unusual experience I ever had at a show in wrestling was, coincidentally, it was that show up in Boston. At the time, they've gotten a lot better now. They've fixed all these issues. So this is not a reflection of how they currently are, in case anyone up there is listening. But at that time, they weren't very organized. So I got there and it was very chaotic. The ring got set up late. The show started late. They didn't have a speaker. They didn't have the audio equipment. I ended up having to bring some speakers from Baltimore up to Boston.
Okay.
For this show, because I don't know, like the promoter, I think he was going through some things like in his personal life, maybe, but it just like someone had posed a question, I think like the night before, and was like, hey, you got speakers for the show? And he's like, oh my God, no. And it's, yeah. So, yeah. Then you got there, and then the card wasn't fully fleshed out.
Oh,
it was. There was a concern that some people weren't going to get paid. It was. It was. Now, right? Am I allowed to curse on here?
Yeah.
It was a total shit show, man. It was a total disaster. It was a disaster.
Damn.
But I will say that in the subsequent, because that was about 2 years ago. So in the 2 years that followed, they fixed all of these, and they're putting on phenomenal shows up there in Boston.
Have you been back?
I haven't been back, not because of my terrible experience. I just haven't been back. It's just a scheduling. I haven't been able to find the time to get back up there. But I would go back. Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Have you had a strange encounter with a fan before?
Yes. Okay. Last weekend, I was at a show, and a fan somehow, some way wandered their way down into the locker room.
Oh no, like a little
And
kid.
no. This was a grown adult lady.
Oh, okay.
She got her way into the locker room, which I have no idea how she did this because the locker room area was in the basement of the venue. It wasn't
Okay.
even like upstairs where the actual show and the fans and everything were. So she came down here and she like knocked on the door because the door was
Oh
open. Because
no.
like I said, it's no one down
Oh,
there. It's
okay.
just us
Okay, yeah.
wrestlers. So the door is open and we were dressed and everything. We were going over our match, and she comes in and she's like, "Hey, hi, can I have a picture with you guys?" And we were like, I
Right now?
guess, like, I guess, like, who? Okay, who did you want a picture with? And so we're thinking maybe she was like there to see a specific wrestler. So we're all
Right,
kind of looking at each other, like giving each other the look, like, do you know her? Do you know her? Because we're thinking,
right,
like, okay, she's down here. Maybe she knows someone.
right.
Because like wrestlers will come with like their family or like a friend or something to bring. So we're looking like, you know her, like,
Uh,
okay, so like, who do you want a picture with? She's like, oh no, all you guys, group shot, group shot. So she gathers us all up and she takes a selfie. She's got like the phone
oh,
here
like that.
and she's trying to get the group shot with like all of us in there, and we're like awkwardly like trying to
Oh my
pose
goodness.
with her, and we're just all like, is this really happening?
Oh my goodness. That is hilarious. Oh my goodness.
And she was like, "Thank you guys so much," and then she left. And like she left,
Wow.
and we're just all like, "Did that really
Did that just
happen?"
really happen?
Like, y'all, that like, okay.
Oh my goodness. I thought it would be like some type of kid or something like that. 'Cause
No.
oh,
That was the strangest.
that yeah, that's definitely awkward right there. That's
Very,
hilarious.
very awkward.
Oh man. Um, who would be your influences?
My influences. So I'm a big Randy Orton guy.
Oh, yes.
Big fan of Randy Orton. He's a big influence on me. I am a fan of Bret Hart.
Okay.
I would say from a so I would say in ring wise, those are the two that I kind of pick influences from, with a little bit of other wrestlers sprinkled in. From a character and promo perspective, I would say I have a tendency to channel uh, Shawn Michaels
Okay. Yep.
during his late '90s DX time frame. I tend to
Yes.
channel that a lot. Just a arrogant, cocky, real full of himself type of guy.
Absolutely. For sure.
Yeah, so that's I would say those are my three: Brett, Shawn, Randy Orton. And like I said, there's a few others sprinkled in there, but those are the three main ones I would say.
Okay. Next question. Who would you put on your Mount Rushmore?
Mount Rushmore of just all time greats.
Uh, yeah, like
Okay.
in your opinion, yeah.
I'm going to say Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Obviously, that's number one or two.
He's yes, Stone Cold he's my guy. He was the guy when I got into wrestling. So he's my guy. My
Like,
number one.
right. When I was three, man, like when I was three, he was still wrestling, but like he was in that management role, like where you
When he
provoke
was the
him.
co-GM with
Yeah,
Eric Bischoff.
yeah,
Yeah. Good
when you would
times.
provoke him and he would just beat the hell out of you.
Yeah.
I was three, so like he was, edging like his, in ring career a little bit, but
Yeah.
y- yeah, I'm definitely a Stone Cold guy for sure,
Yeah, Stone Cold he's the best.
for
After
sure.
him, I would say I would put Ric Flair on
Oh,
there.
for sure.
I would say Ric Flair is probably he is the template, I would say, for the type of wrestler that I would like to be. And as far as being able to go in there and have a match with anybody, no matter how good or bad they are, and be able to have a great match with them.
For sure.
That's like a true testament. And I think he is the perfect template of that. Like Ric Flair could go in there with anybody and
Yeah.
he would make it work. So in addition to, of course, he's Ric Flair. He's the styling and profiling, jet flying,
Absolutely.
limousine riding. He's the man.
For sure.
Woo! Like all of that. And we're not even taking any of that into account. That puts him right there, the legendary status and Mount Rushmore worthy right there. But for me personally, I really admire that about him. Definitely. So we got Stone Cold, Ric Flair. I gotta put, man. Oof. Man, you got to put Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is, once again, in that Ric Flair category, but he modernized it. So much of the wrestling style that we see now, you could trace it back to the work that he was putting in, especially when it came the time for that transition from where wrestlers went from these gigantic men to more smaller athletic performers. He was right there, a part of that transition and leading the way for a lot of these, paving the way for a lot of these guys that wrestle now.
For sure.
That a long time ago they wouldn't have been looked at as anything, but they are able to have opportunities today because of that groundbreaking work that Shawn Michaels was able to do to pave the way for them.
Probably one of the best in-ring performers that we have ever seen.
Absolutely. My favorite match of all time is Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25.
Yes, that's my first one too.
That is my favorite match of all time. I could watch it 50 times a day if I had to and never get tired of it. It's a work of art. That's the best way to. It's really a work of art.
What they did in the ring, like nobody can ever, replace that or duplicate that or reenact that, because that match was once in a generation.
Yes, it was, and I'm glad I was able to see it like live. Sure. I watched it live, and I've seen it a million times since then. No other match I've ever seen I love as much as that one.
It was incredible.
That's the standard right there. Work of art. And the last spot, I would give the last spot to. It's tough. There's so many people that it could go to.
Right.
I'm gonna go with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Because without Hulk Hogan and what he did, what he contributed, how big he was, the whole rock and wrestling 80s revolution, WrestleMania becoming the marquee major event, all of these things were built on the back of Hulk Hogan. And the WWE as it exists today, it doesn't. Without him.
Right.
It might still exist as a company, but it would be nowhere near what it is without him. So that's my Mount Rushmore. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan.
And as a young wrestling fan, yeah, you have to understand what Hulk Hogan did back then, and he transpired that larger than life persona. He put pro wrestling on the mainstream map.
Yeah.
He made it into a pulp culture thing. And the fact that we can sit here and talk about it, and I could sit here, have a podcast about it and make content from it. Like it's so cool. Like it's absolutely cool. So yeah, without him, we wouldn't be here talking
No
about pro
doubt.
wrestling.
Like Hulk Hogan was a real life superhero.
He
That's
really
just the
was.
best way to put it. He was a real life superhero.
And it's just, you only get those superstars every like once in a blue moon,
Yeah,
because you see
yeah.
we've seen it with John Cena.
I
Yeah,
think I
I,
think John Cena is the closest thing that there is to a Hulk Hogan. And even still, Hulk was just on
he was on a different
another
level.
level. It was
Yeah,
such a different level that it's so hard to like compare it because the world's so different now to
it
what
really
it's a
is.
so it's to for people like younger people to understand just how big and major a deal Hulk Hogan was. It's really hard to compare it because nothing compares. Nothing
No,
does.
for sure.
Yeah.
My next question is, what's your thoughts on the state of the industry business? As we get more companies involved, more promotions involved. Like AEW owns Ring of Honor now. WWE owns AAA. Um, but it's just, and for what Cody did too. He reopen a small indie promotion that has now a TV deal. So I mean, it gives you guys more looks at y'all for sure, and I love it for sure. And I don't want to take, I don't want to put any tribalism in this. Like I don't
Hmm.
believe no tribalism, because to me it's just pro wrestling. I love watching it, and it's just a big part of my life. So yeah,
Yeah, I love that there is something for everybody out there. There is wrestling for everyone. Like any type of wrestling that you like, any style that you like, it's out there. And there's also so many places to wrestle that I love that a lot of my friends, my peers are able to live their dreams and do what they love and make some good money doing this and are able
absolutely,
to just I love that it's easy for people to just continue to live their dreams and make a living doing what they love. That's what I love. So
for sure.
the more places to work, the better. I love I love what WWE is doing. I love the position that AEW is in. I'm happy that TNA got the new TV deal, so that's going to put them in a better place. So that's another place that people can go to work and make a living doing what they love. That's awesome, and I hope we see more of it. I hope there's other companies out there that get TV deals, and we're just able to continue to live our dreams. That's really what it's all about, man.
Absolutely. I mean, you see OVW. I mean, I had to start watching them more. But they are free on YouTube, and yeah, I mean, they officially. I mean, I thought they were on a TV deal, but and then a couple months ago, they're like, we're gonna start streaming free on YouTube, and yeah, I mean that. Yeah, I love it. So,
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome.
um, so you have any pre-match traditions, rituals you like to do before a match?
Yeah. So after I talk to my opponents, we figure out what we're gonna do in the match. I have my headphones, pop them on. I got my playlist. My playlist usually involves like some really hard rock, deathcore, screaming at me because for some
Okay,
reason that comforts me. That
for
that
sure.
allows me to clear my head, get in the zone, focus on the match, what I got to do. So I listen to that, lock in while I'm doing my stretches, warming up with my resistance bands, just trying to get as loose as possible before I go out there. So yeah, that's my ritual.
Absolutely. Um, so you've been in the business for like how long? 5 years, six
Oh,
years.
6 years. This will be year six. Yeah.
Have you suffered any major injuries or had any major surgeries because of it?
Knock on wood, no surgeries. I have broken my foot.
Oh, damn.
Um, it was just a freak accident in the ring.
Okay.
It was just it was a hairline fracture. Luckily, because of the compression of my wrestling shoes, like the bones stayed in place, so I didn't need any surgery, didn't need anything like that. Just had to be in a boot for 6 weeks and on crutches. Healed just fine. I've had um, two concussions, not serious ones, but that's it. Knock on wood. The broken foot was the worst of it. But other than that, man, relatively healthy. No pulls, no tears.
Good.
Been very fortunate.
That's awesome. Uh, do you have an arch nemesis in pro wrestling? You got somebody that in the storyline, don't like Chris Idol or who likes to talk a lot of crap to Chris Idol. I mean, this is your chance to you know, shut him out.
No, I don't personally have an arch enemy.
Okay.
Because I am the newest member of my group.
Okay.
But I will put it out there that I think that Pure Ignorance is the best tag team stable in the DMV area. That's DC, Maryland, Virginia. So any team that wants to step up and challenge us for that spot, we're ready. We'll take
Okay.
you on anywhere, anytime. Name the place. We're there. Pure Ignorance, number one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Stay the course.
Stay the course.
Stay the course. Everything that you're doing, even if you think it's not leading anywhere, it's not leading to something, it all pays off in the end. Stay the course. Do exactly what you're doing.
As otherwise, trust the process
Exactly.
for sure.
Because everything happens for a reason, good or bad. Everything is a learning experience. So everything had to happen the way it happened for me to get where I am today.
Absolutely. Um, do you have any advice for young folks who are trying to break into the business?
Always be willing to learn. Never think that you know everything. There's
Absolutely.
always something new that you can learn. Even if it's a small detail, there's always something that you can apply to your craft that'll help you improve. So
Absolutely.
always be willing to learn. I would say that, and not every bit of advice is great advice.
Okay,
Always
yeah,
listen to the advice given to you,
for sure.
but use your own discretion as to whether that advice will work for you.
Absolutely. I
That would
like
be
that.
another one. Because when you're new in the business, you're going to get advice from everyone. 50 different people are going to be spewing you ideas and things to say. So it's up to you. Listen to everyone, gather all that information, but use your own discretion as to which advice is going to work best for you.
For sure. Um, we are almost down to the nitty gritty. Um, do you have a favorite move you like to do or you won't do?
Favorite move that I like to do is my spine buster.
Okay.
I don't have a special name for it, but the spine buster, I got it from Ron Simmons. Farouk,
Okay.
shout out to Farouk Ron Simmons. He used to do it. His was a little more violent. I made mine a little more theatric, a little more graceful. I got to come up
Okay.
with a name for it, but that's my favorite move to do. My least favorite move to take, be a recipient of, would be the German suplex.
You don't like
It's
the German?
Oh my god, it's scary. It's scary. And
Oh,
what's
wait,
scary about it is that when it's happening, you can't see where you're going. You can't see
you
where you're
don't see
going.
where
You
you're
don't know where you're
going.
hitting. You
Yeah,
don't know where the ground is. It's just it's a scary feeling because you're not in control. You're not in control when someone's giving you a German
and
suplex.
you can only do
You
so much to protect yourself because, like, I've seen so
yeah,
many ways, like where people could take a German suplex and you can, tuck your head
Yeah,
behind your head and stuff like that. But like,
yeah.
yeah,
It's that move. So most moves in wrestling, it's a 50-50, like equal parts. I do my part to do it to you safely. You do your part to protect yourself safely. But a German suplex, it's like 10% me protecting myself, 90% trust in the person doing it to you.
absolutely.
And that's a scary feeling. So, yeah, I hate taking German suplexes, and I have no problem telling my opponents, hey, that's not something.
Right? I don't blame you. Yeah,
Yeah, but I like anything, just about anything else I'll do. But that one, that's a non negotiable.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Do you have any shows you want to hype up? Any social media you want to hype up?
Absolutely. Fight. Our next show is February the 22nd in Cheverly, Maryland. So if you're in the Maryland or DC area, come out there and check that out. It's going to be a great show. That's a Sunday, I believe. Come out. Great group of talent. Fight is really good at highlighting some unrecognized talent, like guys that you don't see get big opportunities at a lot of other places. This is a showcase. So if you're looking to see some new people that, you're looking for a new favorite or just want to see who's up and coming, this is a good show to check out. They stream on IWTV, all their previous events. Check it
Okay.
out there. Definitely.
And your social media?
You can follow me at ChrisIdol22 on all forms of social media. I got it all. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm everywhere.
Awesome. There you guys have it. Chris Idol was actually a last minute guest for me. But he's been an awesome guest. I hope to have him on soon again. Uh, we are wrapping up this podcast. This podcast is sponsored by WG and Advanced G. Use my code CWE99 for 10% off. And also be sure to check out brainbusterscheese.com for my merch as well. You have any merch as well, Chris?
So you can find Pure Ignorance merchandise at foryouwear.com/pure ignorance. You can get shirts from myself, Chris Idol, my brother Noah Idol, my teammates Chaz Evans and Prince Machiavelli. You can find all
Okay.
that there.
For sure, for sure. This has been a great podcast. I love having you on, and yeah, man, I can't wait to see your career explode. I want to see it. So,
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for having me on. It
no
was an
problem.
honor. It's an honor to be asked to be on a podcast.
Absolutely, that's what I
Thank you
want to
so
do.
much for
You're
even
welcome.
thinking of me.
You're welcome. Yeah, I want to get more people involved in pro wrestling, whether it's the indies or, the big leagues. I want to get people who hasn't seen it or, you know, fell out of it. Get people more involved into it. It's the biggest thing in the world right now for me personally. It's been a huge part of my life, and yeah, man, you've been a great guest. I appreciate you a lot.
Thank you. No problem. Anytime.
Absolutely. We are live on Twitch and YouTube, and I'm about to close the stream out. And well, yeah, we'll be on YouTube. So I'll send you the link, and you can share it out to your buddies and whatnot.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right, buddy. This is Chris Idol, and this is a CWE podcast signing out. So thank you guys.